Howdy. Automatic chicken door. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to show you two different types. So I have a main chicken house, I'll call it, that is completely 100% secure. So at night, nothing can get into my chicken house. It's an actual house. A raccoon would have to have a set of DeWalt tools to get into it. It's heavy duty, it's off the ground, nothing can get into it. In that chicken house, I have a steel door that is on a track system. It's a geared system. You can hear it go and it gears down and it shuts. Now that runs off, you can run it off a battery and solar, but I have mine plugged into an electrical outlet with a backup battery system on it. And I love that thing because it's very simple. It has a screen on it. You can program the time, set your open time, set your close time. And for me, I love that. It's fantastic. Never has failed. However, on the outside, so then that house sits inside of a main run. I'll show you here in a second. Then I have an outside run. And every morning I go up there and I let the chickens out. I open the big door and the chickens go out to their main run. However, if I ever want to go away on vacation and someone's going to take care of my chickens for me, the problem is they may not come over till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I want the chickens to be able to get out to their outside run. So I'm going to install a secondary automatic chicken door on the in-between runs. The problem I have with a lot of these doors is, I don't know why, but almost all of them that you see have a light sensor on them, and the only option is sunrise and sunset. There is no option to set up actual time on it as well. They also limit you on the ability to, as far as the power of it. So I think the winner for me from this application, I have a chicken run door that's solar powered, and it has a Bluetooth phone app that allows me to go in and override the sunset settings. So what I did last night is the instructions on it were fair. They have a QR code. You scan the QR code and it says page not found. So nobody's perfect here. It's made in Slovenia, so it's not made in China, which is kind of cool. And it has a solar panel on it, and again, it has a button you can push, and it'll manually open, manually close it whenever you want. But you can set that time in there. So last night I set the time to open at 8 a.m. and the close at 8 p.m. I have it on the counter, and sure enough, at 7:59 or 7:59. Or a couple of minutes before, the blue light started flashing, and that tells me that the door is going to open soon, and the door opened up at 8 a.m. So far everything looks pretty good. I'm going to install it, and I'll have to build some kind of frame system. Now the steel door that I have, it's a big long insert that you have to build into a frame, but man, it's fantastic. All right, so the girls are going to scream at me like they do every morning because they want to be let out into their outdoor run, which is out here, and they want some treats. So they'll sit here and scream at me, and they'll follow me over here. Okay, so here's the routine. This is a gutter that I bought from Lowe's, and I installed it along the fence at an angle, so that if it rains, it actually drains out. But I put a little bit of fermented scratch grain, and then I put the black fly larva in here, so that's what they're wanting to come out. Then, because I also have these two new chickens that get kind of pushed out, I put a tray down here and a tray down there, same thing, so that it just becomes a cluster in the morning. But I have this door here. This is the outside coop. That's my inside coop run, I guess you call it. And I have a magnet system there that releases every night at 7:30, and that door closes every night at 7:30. So, and then there's hawk netting all through this outside run. There's hawk netting. Crow decoys and owl decoys, they just don't work, by the way. I've got them up, they don't work. Release the hounds. I have 1, 2, 3 sets of nesting boxes. I added that one because this was getting too crowded in the morning. I'm getting right at 2 dozen eggs a day, so I have 30 chickens. I'm getting 2 dozen eggs a day, and some of the chickens aren't laying. They're still, the 2 new ones are probably too young. They're about to start laying. But inside here, I have a double lock system. And then over there I have a steel door. That's the steel door, and you can see it's in a frame, and you have to have that full frame because it goes up and down, and I love that steel door. We do not use the inside nesting box, and I'll tell you right now, I don't think it's a good idea to put nesting boxes inside a house. I don't know why people do it. I don't want my chickens spending their time. There's an egg right here. Look at that. That's a first. I haven't seen an egg in here in 3 weeks. So someone was anxious to lay an egg, or they laid it last night. But my chickens don't have the ability to lay eggs until after 7:30, and they never lay eggs in here. This is a first. I haven't seen one of these in like a month. But you can see, because they're roosting, chickens want to roost up high. They always want to go as high as possible. So I have all my roosting bars pretty much up high, but they poo. And so anything below that's going to get poo on it. And so that thing gets covered with poo. I'm going to pull that out. I do not recommend putting nesting boxes inside where they sleep. I don't know why people do it. It just doesn't make sense to me. The other thing you'll hear too is, you'll hear that chickens have to start laying at 4:30 in the morning or something like that. It's how they're trained. My chickens, like I said, they don't get out of here. They don't have the ability to go to their nesting boxes until probably 7 or 7:30 in the morning. And they come out, and you'll see them, they'll go right in here. And then once they stop their eating over here, they'll be back in here, and all these boxes will be filled back up with chickens. And they finish laying somewhere probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So they'll lay all during the day, all during the morning. But I'm going to put this egg inside the box over here. Hi, honey. How are you? You doing okay? You doing okay? That's a submission pose, by the way. She'll do a submission pose, and then she'll shake it off. Yep. Basically, I'm a rooster mounting her. That's kind of why she does that. That's how a rooster would mount her. That's the submission position. Anything else? I have a watering system here, a watering system outside. The inside watering system sits on a seed germination pad to keep it from freezing. That seed pad is about 60 degrees, and it does do a good job of keeping that from freezing. On these are roll-out nesting boxes, so none of my eggs are ever dirty. I may get one dirty egg a week with a little bit of chicken poo on it. That's it. My eggs are clean. You don't have to clean eggs if you use a roll-out system. But one of the mistakes people make is they fill that up with straw. I just put a little bit of straw, tiny bit of straw or tiny bit of wood chips in there, and that's it. And when the chickens move around, the eggs roll out inside of here. She's sleeping. She is sound asleep. You're sound asleep, aren't you, honey? It's okay. I'm just going to look. But I actually probably have too much straw on there right now. This is their main scratch layer feed. This is their main layer feed. This will hold a 50-pound bag. Then I have a secondary one I put over here, and then I put scratch grains. These are actually scratch grains in here. And my girls are spoiled because of my garden situation. I come up here probably every day, just about every day. I come up and I pull turnips and radish greens, and I come in here, I throw out the greens, and they just tear them up. They absolutely love to. Now we had the flooding rains day before yesterday, and we got 5 inches, almost 5 inches of rain in just a few hours. And my property drains. I did a video on this yesterday. My whole property drains here. I was having a flooding issue, so I dug out and I put a pipe in here. and that pipe actually takes water all the way out, all the way down there, and it worked great. I only had a little bit of water inside their run, the inside run. The last time we had a bad rain like that, a massive rainfall, this whole area in here was about 3 inches deep in water. It was horrible. So anyways, I got metal roofing. I have a camera up here, Wi-Fi base that I can pull up at any time and make sure my door is closed. I have a camera here. I have a camera up here so I can see what's going on inside on the inside run. I did have a camera inside their house, but I found that I was basically looking at chicken butts. So I took it out. There was no reason to have it in there. But I can pull it up at night and just make sure that my door is closed. You know, are you worried that your door didn't close? Well, you're going to get up and come up here? No, you just pull up your camera, look at it. I strongly recommend, even if you put a blink or whatever it is, put cameras up on your chicken houses, and that way you can just pull it up. If you hear a weird noise, you can pull up your camera and see what's going on. If you're worried, if you're away from the house and someone's supposed to come check on them, I can set the motion sensor on here, and I know when someone comes in here, and I can pull it up, and if they have any questions, I can talk to them through the camera. But I'm trying to think what else. So anyways, here's my plan. I was going to install it on this door, but rather than have it open and close, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a frame here next to the door. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that door, build a little wooden frame in here and make that door right there. Chickens are a lot like dogs. They just want to be around everything. Why, I don't know. Why do you guys have to help so much, huh? Maybe somewhere around there. Maybe somewhere around there. I think I've got every tool I own up here. I need to bump this out some. So we're in business. Dude, what a cluster that was. I think I got every tool I own up here. But I had to bump it out some so it wouldn't hit that mesh. So I solved that problem. It's getting full sunlight during the afternoon, so it'll be charged. And that should work perfect. They're already going through that hole. I can't keep them out of that hole already, so... All right, so it's the afternoon. They hear me pull up in my UTV, and they come over screaming because they want some treats. So I'm gonna give them their greens, and then I'll recap the doors and the features and why I like them. So you can see just how lush and green this garden is in the winter. This is February, and I'm able to pull kale, turnips, and radish greens every day and come up here and feed them. I honestly think that's one of the reasons why my egg production has not dropped during the winter. Is a lot has to do with their diet. Some people say it's sunlight, but My egg production has actually increased.
Gotta move. Gotta move. There's plenty for everybody. Plenty for everybody. Just chill out.
Man, it's nice to have sunshine after all this rain, but unfortunately, guess what? Saturday, tomorrow, and the next day, Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have more rain come in here, so enjoy the sunshine, girls. So this is all done. I actually had to, when I mounted this, I was going to mount it on this 2x4 here, but this, I was afraid that this was going to hit this metal, so I bumped it out with just some 1/2-inch boards. And now it opens and closes really nicely, and there you go. Right on cue. They'll go right through it. They love going through these little doors. Okay, so let me go in. Let me show you the metal door that's in here, the gear-driven door. Now, one thing I want you to understand, chickens spend all night in here, and when you have 30 chickens, there's a lot of crap going on. And so one of the things I recommend is don't have anything stick out on the side, because poo's going to fall, and if there's anything in the way, it's going to hit that. So you don't want to have roosting bars in line with your walls. I have them going this way so the poo falls down. But this right here, I don't use this. This has become a poo trap, and you'll see it here in a minute. But see all the poo on there? So we're taking this out. And my bars go this way, otherwise they'd be pulling up against all these walls. Now you can even see, you can see even the poo up on here. Welcome to chickens, man. But this one right here, I have, I can choose the mode. I can go a timer run, set the clock, choose this time, manual run or timer run. I'm gonna leave it on timer run. So you set your open time, set your close time, and there's a gear system that drives this down. But this is mounted inside of a frame here like this. And then it's plugged in, and I have a little UPC battery backup system on it too. I also have a night light in here for them, power, and I have a solar powered vent fan. Now there's a myth that chickens need to be in complete darkness. It's not true. If you walk outside at night, you can see. There's a moon, there's stars, there's natural light. Well, if you make this completely dark and one of your chickens falls, they can't see to get up. So having a little night light in here is again, they go to sleep, they're fine, but if something happens where they need to shift around, they can actually see. It's not bright, it's just one of those just a little night light. But that is completely, they do have a battery option, and then on that battery option, you can have a solar panel and charge the battery. On this one here, from the factory, it comes set up to be on the solar. So there's an eye sensor. There's an eye sensor on the front of this, and at sunrise and sunset, it'll open. However, you can download their app and connect this via Bluetooth and set it to, instead of doing that, set the actual time. So again, 8 a.m. it opens, 8 p.m. it closes is the way I have it set. Pretty sturdy. I mean, it's plastic, but it's hard plastic. I don't know, something would really have to tear apart to get into that. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to do your screws real tight. You want to keep your screws pretty loose. You don't want the thing to bind up. Make sure you test it, and it's working fine. So I feel much better now. Now I feel like I can actually go away for a week, have someone come by once in the afternoon, collect all the eggs, check their feed, check their water, and they're able to come out here. This was the best thing we did for our chickens. I wanted to free range them inside this whole garden, but they would tear up a garden pretty bad, and putting up this hawk netting is a pain in the butt. I don't think I could stretch that hawk netting all the way over there. But we put this is about 8 to 10 feet wide and close to, gosh, how long is this? 80 feet long. Have a little jungle set for them.
some shading over here, hawk netting all the way around. There's fine mesh on both sides. So
again, the only predators I have to worry about are raccoons and hawks. The hawks are taken care of, and the raccoons, we trapped 170 raccoons over 2 years out of the backside of that property, and it's almost impossible to trap a raccoon now. So we've taken down that population. Plus, raccoons, the only problem really is at night, and they're locked up in there at night. They're secure. So.
Joanna, Johnny. So we call this one John, but it's actually Joanna because she goes in and lays eggs, but we still call her John. And this is one of the new girls. Say hi, new girl. You are so pretty. Yeah, you're a pretty chicken. Yeah, scratch, wipe off your beak.
So I got to collect all these eggs, and I don't have my egg bag. I'm going to have to put it in my sweatshirt.
Look at the new girls. Aren't they pretty? You guys are pretty. Sisters. John, why are you making so much noise, Joanna?
Can you see my pouch here? Look at this. So I've tied my record again today, 26 eggs. And I guarantee you someone's going to go in there and lay another one. Oh. That's the first time I've seen one of the new girls interested in going in there. So they're about a month younger than my girls. Man, they're big. Yeah, you girls are big. So I got to get these eggs carefully into my UTV. Oh, yeah, roosters are too loud. Just get hens. Oh my goodness. Watch out, girls. I've had all those eggs in the pouch of my sweatshirt.
That's 26 eggs today.
All perfectly clean. There's no poo on them. And use your rollout boxes and put your rollout boxes outside your main house.